Alright, Shalom Israel, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd love to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, whose source is 100% truth. Shalom to the hopefully elect. Shalom to the Akim, who possess truth and sincerity. And shalom to the sincere Aqua, who may be out there watching and learning. It's ready to call from the GMS Columbus camp. And I'm going to try to make this lesson a little quicker, only because my phone is on low percent and I'm walking right now. But I got this clip earlier from my news app, just speaking on North Korea. All right, you know, the U.S. has been trying to get into these talks with North Korea for a little while now. All right, and these talks and, you know, this scare and this war between North Korea and America goes back, you know, some years now, you know, and I'm speaking as far as my time, you know, because I know there was a big scare, and I was a little younger at the time, and when they were talking about going to war with North Korea, I believe it was probably 2016 or 2017 or somewhere around there when that was going on. And I was so worried. I was so worried that North Korea was going to hit us with an EMP. I'm like, dang, you know, we're about to be jacked up out here. You know, but I was young, and I'm just like, man, shit. So I'm just thinking, like, and I was just trying to, you know, tell my peoples and my mom especially, like, you know, we got to be prepared. Like, do you know how to live off the land and all that? Because I started doing research on, you know, the different, you know, the different bombs, these different nukes and everything like that, you know. And just naturally in me, it's like, man, we got to find a way to survive, make it through, you know. But as I've grown in the truth and in the spirit, you know, I understand why these things are going on, all right, and what's truly to come to this land, you see, because a lot of people don't understand, you know, what's going on, or what's getting ready to happen, or why it's happening, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't get it, all right, and Thwadi Abashin, I was shy for giving me clarity and removing that surface level fear that I had once in this life, you know, when I wasn't in the know, you know. But just diving into this topic here, it says, World War III warning. Kim warns U.S. grave consequences if pressure over nukes. Putin backs North Korea. You see? So, of course, the first precept that comes to mind is this Joel 3:10. All right? It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. You see? And, you know, just, you know, going into them different instruments, you know, so these are, you know, farming tools, you know, and, you know, they're taking these low-level things per se and turning them into weapons, all right, and putting themselves and gearing themselves up for battle, all right. And that's the same thing that these smaller countries are doing, all right, from North Korea to Iran to any other countries that are trying to develop themselves and put themselves in the position to be called a superpower or a nuclear power. All right, because, you know, all these countries, all the countries don't have nukes. You know, majority of these countries, you know, that have military, they have missiles and things like that. But, you know, a lot of these countries are aided by other countries such as North Korea and Russia. Russia, you know, aids certain countries, etc. You know what I'm saying? So just like America, you know, when war is going on, they'll send missiles or defense mechanisms, whatever the case may be, you know. But these countries are gearing up for that great war to come. All right, so I just want to play this video real quick, and I just got a few more precepts, you know, just going into that war and what's gearing up to happen. All right. See that? It says North Korea warns, accept us as a nuclear power or no talks. You see? And you know America is dead set on these countries not having no nuclear capabilities, all right? From North Korea and Iran, the two biggest ones, you know what I'm saying, that are in the news as of today. You see? They don't want these countries to have nuclear power, right? And that's why, you know, the U.S. is sending strikes. I believe they sent strikes on some nuclear sites in Iran, I believe. You see? So, you know, America's trying to shoot these places down, man. They don't want these places to be of competition. But guess what? It's all prophecy, all right? And the Lord is doing what? He's gearing up these different nations for the battle. All right, and I gotta get it because that's one of the pieces I wanted to grab anyway. So I'm just grab it real quick, then I'll let the rest of the video play. Yep, Isaiah 13, I'm gonna highlight it. Isaiah 13, verse 4 says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh of hosts, mustereth the host of the battle. All right. So what does that mean? The Lord is gearing up and riling up these different countries for that great day. All right. What does Scripture speak about? The different woes. All right. It says, in fact, let's get it real quick. Revelation 11:14, the second woe is past, going into the world wars. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. You see? So the Lord is gearing up all these different nations, all right, for the great day of battle. All right. And one common thing the majority of these countries have, and they don't have it right now, they're beginning to have it, is their hate and disdain for America. All right. Now, while we can all admit America is a great nation, it was once a so-called great nation. It's cool, got cool shit. You can have so-called fun and all that. But everybody's seeing the bullshit behind America. Everybody's seeing what's real behind America. See, America only seems great on the surface level. All right. But if you dig deep on the land of America, we know what it's built off of. All right. We know that it's built off slave labor, all these things. All right. But, you know, even behind the scenes with, you know, you could do the simple things, how they do taxes, and they tax you for this and that. You know, the land that you have in this land is really not your land. All these different things, man, it shows forth, man. And you know, how the hell you can buy a house and you pay all these hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly millions of dollars for these houses, all right? And then if you don't pay your property tax, you still can get your house taken, but you pay all this money for it. Shit don't add up in this kingdom, man. All right? And everybody's seeing it. All right? And people are also seeing the great deal of wickedness that's promoted in this kingdom as well. All right? And that's where majority of the people, they come and they're able to fulfill and live out the lust of their flesh in this kingdom. All right? But hey, the Lord is beginning to visit this place, and he's sending out great deals of judgment amongst this place. You see? So, you know, you can live it up in America if you want to, but deep down, this place is hell. All right? This place, America, is a boiling pot of wickedness. All right? And that's why this place has to be utterly destroyed, and that's what the Lord is doing. So just like I read in the last precept, the Lord is mustering up the host of the battle. All right, he's gearing everybody up for that great day of destruction, that lake of fire to come. Okay? So, Salakia, let me get to this video, let it play out now. See, real quick, just reading that right there, it says North Korea is not hiding its nuclear power and arsenal. Warning the U.S. must accept its nuclear status and stop pushing for denuclearization. Because, there was a period of time, when, North Korea was trying to do these things under wraps, you see. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Jay can correct me, but I believe there was a point in time also where they had got them to stop, making nukes and everything, but it was rumored that they were still working on these nukes, etc. You see? So let's keep playing Slocky. You see that? So they're also, these countries that back each other. All right, now, we know Russia to be known as a superpower, you see. And he's telling them straight up, hey, he said Russia has already warned the U.S., South Korea, and Japan against forming an alliance targeting North Korea, you see. So they're not playing, man, all right? And trust and believe that China will join that party as well, all right? And back Russia and or North Korea, all right? So it's all getting to that great day. Also Iran as well, See, so, pretty much, man, all these different nations, man, they want to be considered as a power, and they want to be considered as a threat. And these weaker, smaller nations want to be considered strong. They want to be looked at as very serious, all right? So, it's all gearing towards prophecy, man, all right? And all these different nations, all right, are going to continue to build up and continue to try and fulfill their mission, per se, as being a superpower, all right? And it's all gearing towards prophecy, all right? It's all gearing towards that great day, all right? So now I want to get, dang, how I go? Slovakia. I believe. Yep. Jeremiah 50 verse 14, it says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. Spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Most High. See? So what is that talking about? Spare no arrows. Now when you take into it, you have to take into account that when these men of old, were getting these visions, and the Lord was revealing these certain prophecies and things that come to pass, they could only reference them in comparison to things that they know. You see, so when you hear things like arrows, when you think about a missile, what is it shaped like? It's shaped like an arrow, all right? And that's something that, was used in times past, you see? Shalakia. So when you take that into account, all right, them arrows that are speaking about here are talking about those missiles. Like I was saying, when you think of a missile, it got the head on it, it's got the body, and it has the wings on the back of it. You see? So it's a missile, but you know, like I said, it was interpreted in a manner that they could relay it, all right, in the times that they were living in, all right. But he's talking about the missiles, man. And what does it say? Spare no arrows, all right. So all these different nations that are getting these nukes, all right, from whatever missiles they have, all right, these missiles are going to be shot, because a lot of these missiles, they're making all these things, but yet they're just sitting in silos for no reason, as it may seem. But if you're paying attention and you understand prophecy, all right, you know that soon enough these missiles will all be shot, okay, and they're gonna aim most importantly at America, Babylon the Great, all right. You know, because America is like I said earlier, is a boiling pot of all the wicked kings before, from Rome to ancient Babylon, Greece, all right. All these different nations, you know what I'm saying, America has took on the ways and philosophies and made it one boiling pot of wickedness, all right. So the Lord is very angry at this place, man. All right. So all these different nations that are gearing up, all right, and trying to become superpowers are just feeding into prophecy at the end of the day. So, you know, with that being said, it's important for us to pay attention to shit like North Korea getting big and bold, Iran big and bold. You see? Who's next? You know? Who else is making these missiles under the noses of America? You see? And also, too, you know, when Trump first came into office, his second term, he started getting on BS and pulling out of allied countries. So if you think that the people in these allied countries are not going to turn on America either, they are. There's already many nations getting rid of the dollar. All right. And like I said, Trump's pulling out, you know what I'm saying? Because they have agreements where, you know, America and these allied countries are just supposed to defend each other in times of trouble, you see? But Trump's standpoint pretty much is like, well, shit, I'm spending all this money and this and that, but what are you going to do for us? What can you do for us, you see? So, you know, these other nations are going to pull away from America as well, even their allies, man. See? So, you know, like I said, it's all prophecy, bro, because the Lord set these things up, man, and the Lord is fed up with this place, man. All the wickedness that's being brought upon the world is now stemming solely from America, man. Or, of course, every other country has their own wickedness, whatever. But the majority of the wickedness and perverse behaviors and nastiness that goes on in the world is promoted here in America, man. And that's why people flock to this place. See? Now I'm gonna get this real quick. And I'm gonna close out. Hold on. Dang, what's that preset, man? Sheesh. Lord willing, it's gonna come to me. Oh, is that it? Oh yeah. Shalaka, it's in Jeremiah 50. I knew that. But just want to get this real quick, and then I'm gonna close out. Jeremiah 50, in verse 25, it says, "The Lord Yahweh hath opened his armory, have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans." See? So So the Lord is putting it all together, man. All right. Everything is being put together. Everything is being put in its place to handle business. All right, in these times to come, man. All right. So these different nations getting big and bold. It's supposed to happen. Okay. It's supposed to happen, and it's gonna happen. All right. So keep paying attention, man. You know, we almost home. You know, Lord willing, these prophecies continue to ramp up and continue to come to pass. We're getting closer and closer every day to that MOTB, because that's one of the last prophecies we need to pass before World War III happens. All right. And we know the missiles ain't gonna get to fully flying until that MOTB becomes mandatory. So keep watch, stay on alert. With that, man, that's pretty much it. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory again unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachah HaKodash. Double honors again to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. I want to say Shalom and Abba Baba.